The 2020 Can-Am Outlander 570 DPS is definitely in a league of its own. It's well built, reliable, budget friendly. Now, these are just a few of the many characteristics why the 570 Outlander is the perfect choice for the first-time ATV user. Now, while it's not the biggest in its class, this V-twin Rotax engine with 48, I repeat, 48 horsepower has gotten me out of the muddiest of situations. Now, before purchasing this ATV, we watched hours of different YouTube reviews on the 570 model itself. We joined a ton of different Facebook groups and connected with current ATV owners just to see how they liked their Can-Am 570s. And then we also connected with friends and family who have owned ATVs for 20 plus years just to get their input on which brand to go to. And very happy that we did that because we're really happy and confident with our decision moving forward with the Can-Am Outlander 570. I love this machine. Let's rip. So guys, a few reasons why we moved forward and purchased the 2020 Outlander 570. Number one is really reliability. Now, I understand this can be subjective and each manufacturer uses different materials, supplies, things of that nature. However, from reading a ton of different forum threads and Facebook groups, Outlander owners have really raved in the fact that their bikes are reliable. Now, of course, it also depends on the maintenance of your bike, how well you take care of your machine, things of that nature. But again, one of the reasons why we moved forward with this 2020 Outlander is because of the reliability factor. The next reason why we purchased the 2020 Outlander is because of the Visco-Lok technology. Now, Visco-Lok engages when you're in four-wheel drive, and essentially, to break it down in its simplest form, is that when you are in a muddy situation or you're trying to go over logs and things of that nature, power is progressively transferred to the wheel with traction. I think it's incredible technology. Like I said, it's got me out of some pretty sticky situations. Guys, this bike is extremely comfortable. Again, that's another reason why we went with the 570 Outlander. I've ridden this bike for 2 hours on the trails and it's extremely comfortable. I love this bike, let alone the dynamic power steering. So the 570 DPS or dynamic power steering, there's 3 modes. You have minimum, medium, and maximum. And so far, within the first 10 hours of riding, I've pretty much just kept the bike at the minimum setting, but I'm really excited to see how well the DPS works, especially when we put a plow in the front, winter's around the corner, and just to see the response of the DPS. Now, I know some Outlander owners have shared that at times they feel as though that there's a lag time when the DPS engages. I personally have not experienced that, but we'll see. Really, the final reason why we moved forward with the Outlander is dealer support. So we live here in Pennsylvania, and we purchased our machine at Blackman Cycle Center. Shout out to Jeff Rush. They've been around the valley for quite some time, and they just have great support, wealth of knowledge over at that dealer. So if you're looking for a machine, definitely give Blackman Cycle Center a visit. Extremely professional. I just love this bike, guys. It's so comfortable. Steering is amazing. Reliability. Again, I'm not ripping it too much right now, but we're sort of getting out of the break-in period, so really don't want to burn a belt or anything of that nature. So this bike is so fun. So guys, whenever you purchase a new ATV, obviously you need to ensure you go through that break-in period. And reviewing the user manual, yes, of course, I'm one of those guys that actually does read the user manual. The Outlander 570 does require an engine break-in period of 10 operating hours or 200 miles. And currently we have 10 hours on this bike, which means essentially the engine's been broken in. So during and throughout the break-in period, we made a conscious effort to, number one, avoid full throttle operation. Yes, it's tempting. I definitely wanted to just rip this thing, but we avoided full throttle operation. We also avoided sustained accelerations. It's essential to note that brief accelerations and speed variations do contribute to a good break-in period. Third is we avoided prolonged cruising speeds. And fourth is we avoided any engine overheating. So really pleased with how this break-in period has gone with this ATV. Again, a good break-in period results in years of enjoyment with your ATV. So guys, just a couple observations. The V-twin 570 does tend to run a little hot. Let us know in the comments section what you've done sort of to combat that issue. Then again, you do have a V-twin 570 between your legs. So hell of an engine though. I can't rave enough about it anymore. I've noticed that at times the speedometer is inconsistent. This has only happened to me about 2 or 3 times while riding. This is definitely something I'm going to mention to Blackman Cycle Center when we go for our first service appointment. It's probably just a calibration issue. They'll be able to take care of it, no problem. Can't stress it enough. The Visco-Lok technology is freaking badass. I mean, you've seen it in the video already. We've gone through mud, we've gone over logs, ditches, things of that nature, and it truly never fails. I'm excited to sort of put the DPS to the test a little bit more, especially in the winter months when we put the plow on the Outlander. Overall, really happy with this bike. I'd recommend this bike to, friends and family. It's so much fun. Can't say enough about it. Shout out to Can-Am. So we've got the bike all loaded up to go home. A couple modifications we're definitely gonna make. Bigger tires, bigger wheels, possible 2-inch lift kit, worn winch. Let us know what else you guys think we should do. Tune into the next episode and review with the Can-Am Outlander 570 DPS.